Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video. And this is my reaction and review of the 11th episode of MLP, which is Not Asking for Trouble. I have no idea what this episode is about. The only thing I remember seeing, I think I saw a screenshot from the episode, something about Yaks. That's the only thing that I know. I really have no idea what this episode is about. So, without further ado, let's begin. Starting video 3, 2, 1, click. Oh my gosh, Pinkie just turned into the Roadrunner. Pinkie just turned into the Roadrunner. How did? Never mind.
We heard a lot of oh my gosh, and we weren't sure if it was a good thing or a bad thing.
A good thing! Two pink pony who lives with baked goods. It's from the Yaks!
Oh boy.
Yaks cordially invite Pink Pony to Yik-Slurbertfest. Come, now. Prince Rutherford is officially inviting me to Yik-Slurbertfest in Yak-Yakistan! What is Yik-Slurbertfest? It's a sacred yak holiday. How did you get Prince Rutherford to invite you? I subtly hinted for an invitation in my letters to him. May I please come to Yik-Slurbertfest? Pretty please? Pretty please? Pretty please? Pretty please? After my 17th scroll, I think you picked up what I was putting down.
Well, that's
we still don't know a lot about the Yaks, so I think
better than what I imagine fan art will create in regard to how she convinced him.
I won't let you down. It's an honor to be the official friendship ambassador to the Yaks.
We're all doomed.
That's not an official position. Yet. You're the princess of friendship. You can make it happen. Okay, you got it. You have to make it official. Right. I hereby make Pinkie Pie the official friendship ambassador to the Yaks.
And we're all doomed.
This is officially the most exciting day of my life.
Hey! That's cool.
Yoo-hoo, Gummy, pay attention.
Wait a minute.
We're in the middle of an official friendship ambassador.
Oh my gosh, we haven't seen this since Pinkie using this balloon since what was it, the race?
My official friendship eye, something
The race between Applejack and her Rainbow. Wait a minute, why is she even using this? I mean, she's Pinkie. She could just probably just poof herself there. Why does she even need that?
The answer was Sky. I win. Yeah, I know that was a hard one, Gummy. You're the best official friendship trouble companion ever.
I'm just curious as to what Gummy's inner monologue is for that.
What is going on?
No doubt something deep.
Yaks destroy! Yaks destroy! Ah, Pink Pony!
It's an honor to be here, Prince. Did something terrible happen? Is the Yik-Slurbertfest canceled?
No! This Yik-Slurbertfest, where Yaks get together to stop!
Oh! I didn't know
That's
that
cute.
was part of the sacred holiday. So this angry display of destruction is part of the festivities. And here I thought you Yaks were just in a bad mood.
No! Stomping relaxes Yaks! Yaks had never been so clear!
Okay.
Stop! Pink Pony better check self before wreck self. That is century-old sacred yak twig, passed down from generation to generation.
Oh no! I'm so sorry! I was just trying to get into the spirit of Yik-Slurbertfest. Maybe I can fix it.
Yet kidding!
I was getting ready to say, dude, why is it laying in the middle of the ground?
Yak got Pink Pony good. Horn bomb! Ah!
Phew! Oh, you sure did, Prince Rutherford. That was a close one, Gummy. This trip has to be perfect. After all, we're not just visiting as friends. We're on official Friendship Ambassador business.
Less talking, more stomping!
Oh boy, I am really wondering what's going to happen
Now,
here.
I take Pink Pony on Yakistan tour.
Thanks, Prince Rutherford, but I've been to Yakistan before.
Yak, no, but thought Pink Pony might not recognize town since decorated for Fest.
You're right. It's so different now that you pointed it out.
Oh, Yaks not just have eye for decorating. Yaks also amazing builders.
No way. I thought you hired professional contractors. Here, let me help you with that.
This ceremonial Yak fire pit, where Yaks tell stories.
Sweet.
Ooh, I have so much to officially tell the ponies
Sweet.
when I get back.
This Yak
Oh, I was
eating
imagining,
hut
like,
where
maybe, I don't
Yaks
know,
eat.
they burn something.
Mm,
What is that made out
the
of?
perfect balance of vanilla extract.
Yaks grow own vanilla bean, nothing imported.
Yeah, Pinkie can do that. See, I told you. Oh, that's adorable.
Yak sleeping hut, hut where Yaks sleep.
Hey! It's hey. Leg twitch.
Yak
Yes.
music hut, hut where Yaks enjoy beautiful music. Shh! Pink Pony ruined with talking.
I'm again curious about Gummy's inner monologue.
Save world.
Pink Pony liked Yak story.
Ho ho! Yak impressed. Pink Pony can almost be honorary Yak.
Almost.
Official Friendship Ambassador and honorary Yak. Oh, Pink Pony's title
Pinkie
card
is adorable in this episode.
Horn Bob.
Oh.
Oh, wait! I don't have a horn! Prince Rutherford, can I get some honorary yak horns?
No, Yak horn too heavy for small pony head.
Uh-oh.
It's Lirbit Fest stop time! Stop harder! Yaks extra happy! Ponies and Yaks! Red!
Something is going to happen. Oh, they're going to cause an avalanche. I was kidding!
Is this part of the festival?
Pink Pony asked too many questions.
Oh, shoot.
Everything is buried in snow! What are we gonna do?
Yak's fine. Snowfall from mountains all the time.
All the time?
Every Yik's Lirbit Fest.
Okay, avalanches like this completely bury all your homes every Yik's Lirbit Fest? Really?
This is Big Avalanche. But not a problem, for Yaks are tough. Yaks dig through snow. Won't take long.
Oh, good. You have an emergency plan in place. Here, let me help. I'm tired. We must be almost done. There's still snow everywhere?
Yaks keep digging.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Well, there's your antlers.
Yaks stop digging. Makes situation worse.
Okay, don't worry, Prince Rutherford. I'll go back to Ponyville and ask for help. Twilight and the others will be happy to come dig the snow away. After all, many hooves make light work.
Or you can
Right,
just
Gabby?
use magic to
Yaks
magic
don't
it away.
need pony help.
Oh, well, I'm sure
or he sourced to melt it. Although that probably would cause
Yaks wait
extreme
for snow
flooding.
to melt.
All this
Oh boy!
will take 1,000 moons before it melts.
Yeah, because
Yaks known for their patience.
Well, be that as it may, in the meantime, what will you eat? Where will you sleep?
Ah, Yaks can make this work. Hardship make Yaks the strong Yaks.
dude,
that
you're way
Yaks
too
are.
stubborn.
If Pink Pony disagrees, then she can leave Yakakistan and never return.
Of course Pink Pony agrees with you. Hey, let's try out some snow recipes.
It's adorable. Don't eat the yellow snow.
Snow cakes,
Those-
snow spaghetti, snow sandwiches.
Oh my gosh.
To make this work.
That just makes me cringe because, oh my gosh, I've got sensitive teeth whenever it comes to cold.
Yak tired. Yak
I can't eat
retired
ice
to
cream.
new sleeping hut.
And oh my gosh, that just made the image of the pain go through my head. They'll freeze to death.
Snow cake good.
Oh gosh.
Just the right balance of cold and water.
Ah! Stop! Yak eating no eating hut.
Prince Rutherford, what are we doing?
It's obvious. This new music hut.
Oh, so we're slaying to...
Shh! Pink Pony ruined snow music with talking.
Pinkie's getting fed up with your beep.
What was Yak? Yak's stomach rumbles. Yak hungry. Shh. Prince Yak will hear Yak. But snow worse than Yak ever seen. Yak, no. Yak hungry too.
Gummy, did you hear that? They can't make it work.
They're too
Yaks
stubborn.
swing. Music over.
They're too
Well,
stubborn.
if the others knew what was going on, they would be here to help in a pony's heartbeat. I have to convince Prince Rutherford that asking for help is okay. Will you help me, Gummy? See, asking you to help wasn't hard at all.
That's cute.
Pink Pony has gathered you around the new ceremonial yak fire pit. To tell you a story. A yak tradition, right?
Oh.
Yay! This is a story about a group of goats who live in the desert. There was
This
a
we're not going with
sandstorm,
felt
and their
for this.
entire village was buried in sand. There was nothing they could do. They knew they could not survive on only eating sandwiches. Get it? Okay. Anyway, finally, the goat's brave, wise leader, let's just call him Prince Rutherford, decides that they couldn't do it by themselves. So he asked the neighboring town of Bovineville to come help them.
Bovineville?
Yeah, cows. The magical cows helped the goats. Everyone survived and went happily ever after.
Everyone's fine. Yeah, that wasn't grim.
Asked for help. The end. So what is the moral of that story? Is it A, asking for help is okay? B, asking for help saves the day? Or C, asking for help is good for every pony?
D. Goats weak and horrible. Magic bovines need to stay out of goats' business.
Not quite. Any yak wanna shout out another answer? Oh.
Oh boy.
Hey, Prince Rutherford.
Dude.
I want to talk to you about something. What are you doing?
Yak snowbed got a little melty last night.
Okay, yeah. That's what I want to talk to you about. You know...
Well, Pinkie, another option is just leave and let them freeze to death.
So comfortable you forget that it's just a cold block of ice. And the yak snow sandwiches? I hate it when food burns your mouth or overwhelms it with flavor.
Oh, Yak hates that too.
You know who would really, really enjoy these snow sandwiches? Twilight, Sparkle, and the other ponies. Oh, hey! I have an idea. Why don't I go to Ponyville and bring them back here?
Ponies like snow sandwich?
Ponies love snow sandwiches. And hey, while they're here, you can ask if they'll clear the snow away. Fun, right?
When Prince was little Yak, Prince stomped on ground too hard, made deep hole and fell into hole. Ice froze over hole. Prince waved to friends and family from inside frozen hole. Waited for spring thaw. Prince survived on own.
Wait a minute. You spent the whole winter in a hole?
Yes, and Yak never asked for help.
Okay. First of all, how did you make such a deep hole from stomping? And how did it freeze over so fast? And how did you see your family and friends to wave to them from inside a frozen hole? Even if all that was possible, how did you breathe in there?
Yaks don't ask for help.
Pinkie has a lot of logical points.
They're hungry, but who knows when the snow will melt? I just don't understand why.
Ah, yes. It's clear now that Pink Pony does not understand Yaks. Honorary Yak status rescinded.
No, dude.
Bang!
You're too
Pretend
stubborn,
restored.
too hard up on
I
yourself
just
and your
slammed it.
old ways, your stubbornness.
Fine, be stubborn.
And freeze to death. Pinkie's little stomp. My little pony. Sorry, had to do it.
Well, this official friendship ambassador is gonna take
Or
that
sorry,
to her
consider
own
the
hood.
situation.
Oh,
My
shut
little
up.
screw you, my little screw
Oh,
you.
you're right, Gummy. I am too worked up. Road trip game would officially calm me down. I know. Let's play 20 million questions. You think of something, then I'll ask you 20 million questions until I can come up with what you're thinking of. Let's go. Is it blue? Is it green? Is it red? Is it greenish red? Is it reddish blue? Is it bigger than a
Does
bread
she
box? Is it smaller than a bread
actually-
box? Is it a bread box? Is it bread? Is it teeth? Is it Granny Smith's dentures? Is it
Back
you?
Ponyville.
Is it a rooster? Is it a red rooster? Is it a red rooster eating corn? Ah, used up all 20 million questions. Oh well, we're here anyway.
Never mind. It's Pinkie.
Official pony balloon still here? Pink Pony gone because Pink Pony not tough like Yaks.
No, she went to call the fire and rescue
Put
squad.
up in agreement. Now!
She went to go get,
Snow sandwich lose novelty. Snow couscous for dinner.
You can tell everyone is just disagreeing with him, and they're basically just gonna.
There is door. I just slammed it.
Pinkie Pie? So then Pink Pony said, "Fine, be stubborn!" Pinkie Pie, we have to help the Yaks. So in conclusion, we have to help the Yaks.
Go.
I love that little head tilt.
Great idea, Pinkie. We'll be happy to help the Yaks. This is what friendship is all about.
Hey, I'll bring apples. This season's batch are extra juicy.
And I shall provide the Yaks with Equestria's finest textiles. They'll be silky and warm with hints of gold to complement their hoods. Ah! We can't bring the Yaks any pony stuff. Why not? The Yaks are very proud. They won't ask for help.
And stubborn as a mule.
You can lead a yak to water, but you better not let him know you're doing it. No pony says that. Do they?
No, they do now.
Okay, then. This
They do
will be
now,
an
so,
official
you know.
covert friendship mission. You got it. Is it yellow? Is it slimy? Is it slimy yellow? We're not playing that. First, we have to
Aim!
compact.
Pinkie spies back!
These walls are high. Sneaking in will not be easy.
And one of them just knocks on the door and it just opens.
Or it's super easy because I'm awesome. Go ahead, I'll catch up. You all know what to
Pinkie is such a Looney Tune. Why not just use your magic and magic the snow away? Just poof it away. See? Oh, it's rarity. Okay, and oh gosh. Clear the clouds, of course. Yeah, just gotta work. You can do that? You can accelerate it? Okay. Excuse me. What are those made out of again? Pardon me. And again, I know how that image is going to be used.
Oh! What happened?
No.
You died.
Did. Prince was right.
You died, and this is your own personal heck.
Yaks tough! Yaks wait patiently! Yaks win!
I'd love it if someone, if like Pinkie, if they use magic, like painted
Helping to
Apple
fix an
Chat,
entire
painted Granny
village
Smith
sure
pink,
takes a lot out
and
of
she
you.
pretended to be
Got here
Pinkie.
before?
Oh, Pink Pony!
Oh, freaking heck.
Just play it cool. We didn't help fix Yak Yak instead. No. We're just here for the snow sandwiches. But then we got here and the snow's gone, so we thought we'd hit it down on the way back to Ponyville. Bye!
Wait! Yak not mad at Pink Pony!
Yak not?
Pink Pony helped Yaks without Yaks asking. Means Pink Pony understand Yaks.
Wait, what?
Do? I do!
Pink Pony, the best kind of friend. Officially honorary Yak! Pink Pony honorary Yak!
My own
Hey!
Yak horn!
Isn't that kind of heavy?
Officially horned up!
Oh, gosh. She's officially Dragonborn.
It's a little heavy for my
She's
small
Dovahkiin. That's cute, Fluttershy.
Need some help with that, Pinkie Pie?
Pink Pony no need Apple Pony's help.
Just kidding. Pink Pony got Apple Pony good. Seriously, this is heavy.
A fourth wall break! Yay! Okay. I did enjoy this episode. I really did. It was interesting to be able to see the Yaks brought back again. But I really understood the concept here. Prince Rutherford was way too stubborn. He was too strict with his tradition about not asking for help. And yeah, I can kind of understand. I mean, there's two different perspectives you can look at it here. I can understand, you know, not wanting. I can understand not wanting to ask somebody for help because you're afraid it will make you feel weak. It'll make you feel like you can't do anything yourself. I can understand that. I can understand that. I can also understand not wanting to ask somebody for help because you want to do it yourself. You believe that you can do it yourself and you want to prove to yourself that you can do it. I can also understand that. But then there was his way here. He didn't want to ask for help because he was too stubborn about it. He didn't want the ponies' help. And again, I don't really know. I mean, there's a few different ways that you could look at it here. It could be the whole difference thing, like they're Yaks, they didn't want to ask for the ponies' help. It kind of made them feel like if they asked for ponies' help, that it would be beneath them. It would be beneath them. That's, you know, one concept. It could also be that he still... I mean, I can't verify that story he told was true, because like Pinkie said, there's all kinds of holes in his story as to whether or not... I mean, it's hard to actually verify whether or not his story was telling the truth. He could have been just making it up. I don't know. Like Pinkie said, there's a lot of holes in that story to his, so I don't know whether it's real or not. But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, that it is real. So again, yeah, he survived that long without any help. Okay. He did. He doesn't feel that he needs to ask for help, and he's got way too much pride. And you know what? This is a bad thing. This is a bad thing with anyone. Whenever you've got too much pride to ask for help whenever you know you need it. And especially whenever it's, okay, it's one thing if you need help and jeopardizing yourself, like, just offhandedly. If you're trying to lift something heavy and you think you can get it yourself, but, you know, it would be much better, much easier if you ask someone to help you. If you let your pride get to you, yeah, you're hurting yourself, that's one thing. But here, he was unintentionally or intentionally jeopardizing the lives and well-being of his people just because he was too stubborn. In that attempt, he would have unintentionally committed mass genocide, and simply because of bullheadedness. This is worse. This is worse. And you could clearly see that that other people were questioning his ideas, his beliefs. They wanted relief. They wanted the snow to be gone. They actually wanted to eat real food. Yet he was too stubborn and would have willingly frozen to death before asking for help. Again, this is ridiculous. There is a limit whenever you need to draw the line. There is a limit. You need to draw the line. It's one thing, again, whenever you're putting yourself in jeopardy. Okay, you're putting yourself through torture. Okay, whatever. Again, you need to lighten up. But again, you're jeopardizing the lives of your people. You're jeopardizing the lives of others simply because you're too stubborn. You're not exactly being a good leader here or setting a good example whenever you're too stubborn and you're making other people have to suffer because of your own beliefs and ideals. Okay, you don't need to do that. At this point, they had every right to overthrow you, throw you out of the village, or at least dethrone you. Because you were making even the children hungry and starved to death. Again, dude, you don't exactly look like a hero here. You're looking like a bad guy. Now, I know that wasn't the exact intention, but yeah, that's kind of what it was making it look like. And again, Pinkie understood. Pinkie understood that sometimes you need to ask for help whether you'd want to or not. And this isn't something as simple as, hey, this thing is heavy, can you help me? No, this was a crisis. This was an emergency. The whole village was covered in snow. And where they're on a mountaintop, the snow would have continued to fall. It would have taken ages for that snow to melt. They would have froze to death and or starved to death before the snow would have been gone. And as shown, the village would have stayed frozen. They would have died. And for what purpose? What would it have served? What good was there in being so stubborn that you risk the lives of dozens of innocent individuals just for the sake of your own bullheadedness? He was willing to let that happen. Again, it's one thing if you want to jeopardize your own well-being, fine, but you should not. It's a terrible, horrible idea to jeopardize the lives of others simply because of your own bullheadedness. Very, very bad idea. Dude, I don't care how your childhood was. I don't care what happened whenever you was a wee yak or whatever. Okay, you got your own backstory. Fine, but there are children starving, okay? There are other people that are starving. Drop your bullheadedness and think about your people. Do they want to freeze to death? There is a time whenever you should not let your own pride be the death of you. And it would have been. Had Pinkie not have stepped in, you would have died. And what purpose would it have done? Like, I can imagine a scene where your ghost is floating up and you're like, oops. Well, Yak didn't expect that to happen. Yak done goofed. Yeah, you know what? No reset button. You can't exactly go back. So again, you were about to wipe out an entire village. Just like that. And yeah, like, I can see that written in the history books a couple of years in the future. Yakistan gone. Everybody froze to death. Nobody knows what happened. A sudden snowfall. That's all anybody knows. Everybody perished in an extreme snowfall. That's all anybody knows. Nobody's around to tell the story. And it was all because of bullheadedness. Okay. Pinkie just saved the lives of everybody in this village. Because of Pinkie's persistence and knowing that everybody needed help, she just saved the lives of everybody in this village from freezing and starving to death. Pinkie is a hero, or a heroine here. She truly is. As is every other character there. Okay. So again, you had two different perspectives. You had someone bullheaded, and again, I can see the relatability in this because we've seen these people before. And heck, I mean, there have been times, I mean, yes, to a degree, I can relate to Prince Rutherford here. I can. Because I hate, honestly. Like, I really do. I hate having to ask for help. And it's not because I'm too prideful. It's honestly not because I'm too prideful. It's because I don't want to be a bother to anyone. I don't like asking for help because I feel that I'm bothering somebody if I'm asking for help. It's not that I'm too prideful. It's not that I feel that I can do it myself. I know whenever I need help. I can understand that, and I will openly admit whenever I need help. But again, I feel bad. I feel guilty asking for help because I feel like I'm bothering somebody. And so, but I do know whenever I need help. I do know whenever there are things that I can't do myself, that I can't do on my own, that I need to ask someone for help. I know that. And I'm at that point, I know that I will have to ask for help, and I will. And I know there are other people that can relate to that. I know there are people that, and I can also really understand Pinkie's perspective. Whenever you see, I mean, again, been in that perspective before. You see somebody that's way too stubborn to ask for help. They just want to do it on their own. I just realized, oh my gosh. I just realized I can see the similarities here between myself being Pinkie and my father being Prince Rutherford. There are times whenever my dad will do stuff on his own, and he's too old to be doing extreme stuff. And I'll see him doing it, and I'm like, why the heck are you doing that? Why didn't you ask me? Why didn't you get me to help you? And he just does it on his own. I'm like, Pinkie, I know that he shouldn't be doing it on his own. He needs help. And so yeah, I can completely understand that. And so again, this is really relatable. This is a really relatable episode. And it was interesting, that dynamic there. Again, it was interesting to be able to see the Yaks again. It was also cool to be able to see Pinkie. And again, the one thing though, this ending. I don't think Prince Rutherford learned his freaking lesson. I think the dude is still too much of a hard A and didn't learn his lesson. He told Pinkie at the end, now you understand, Yaks. You understand that we don't ask for help. That doesn't exactly say thank you for saving my entire village and myself and everyone else here from freezing to death. And yeah, you acknowledge Pinkie as being a good friend to the Yaks. I guess that's the best thank you that she's going to get. And yeah, I really truly admire Pinkie for her lightheartedness and optimism and her big heart. I really admire that. Because to be completely honest, anybody else, myself included, would have probably just told the Yaks, screw you. If you want to freeze to death, go right ahead. If you want to have yourself written out of the history books, again, go right ahead. I offered to help. You're too stubborn to accept it. Okay, that's it. Fine. Screw you. Adios, amigo. And that would have been that. Or anybody else, again, like myself, probably would have grabbed the guy by the horns, or if it was a human being, by the shirt collar, and said, dude, listen, you're too hard up on your butt to understand whenever you need help. You need help. Your village is freezing to death. You and everybody else are starving to death. You need help. So, and then, again, I really admire Pinkie here because of the lightheartedness and the big heart that she has. I really, truly admire Pinkie. And honestly, Pinkie is a good example of helping out even whenever somebody's too stubborn to accept your help. I mean, yeah, it's really hard, honestly, because there are people like that in real life whenever we see people that just annoy the crap out of us. And we see that they might need help, and you're in that mental battle. One side of you wants, it's literally like the cartoon thing. You have the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other shoulder. The devil's telling you just walk away. The angel's saying, you know what, this is the right thing to do. You know it is, help. And so, yeah, this Pinkie is pretty much the embodiment of that angel, pretty much. wanting to help out, even if the person that she's trying to help is too messed up in the head or too hard up on themselves to actually accept help. And so, yeah, I truly admire Pinkie. I truly admire Pinkie's determination, her persistence, and her resolve overall. It's really it really is admirable. And again, the guy, I'm sorry, I just can't really feel completely. And I'm sorry, like, I really don't mean that in a bad way. Lord knows I don't. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean any disrespect. But again, the guy, I'm sorry, it's just the idea that the guy was willing to freeze himself to death and other people simply because he was too stubborn to accept help. And again, I can understand, not wanting to ask for help because, like me, I just feel like I'm bothering somebody if I ask for help. But he was willing. For him, it was just stubbornness. And he didn't want to have to ask for help. And at the end, he's like, you understand, we don't ask for help. Dude, if it wasn't for Pinkie and the rest of the main six, you would be dead in just a few days. Yeah, okay. Like, I know the human body can actually go for a pretty good long period of time without food. I don't know about a yak. And I'm not really sure if the show's logic is going by the actual designs of different mammals and animals' bodies. So I don't know how long a yak can live. I've never done any research on the subject, but I'm sure someone will probably point it out in the comments. But again, you were willing to freeze yourself and other people to death and suffer frostbite, hypothermia, and starvation simply because of your own bullheadedness, your own stubbornness. Someone helps you, and you're like, now you understand us. Dude, what is there to understand? You're hard up on your butt. I'm sorry, but again, you had no resolve. You'd learn nothing. You learned nothing. You did not. I was honestly thinking that at the end he was going to say, yes, we learned that sometimes sometimes we have to ask for help, even if we don't want to. You did not learn anything, dude. You did not learn anything. And you know what? This will probably be the last time we'll see you guys, because again, there will be another festival, massive snowfall. You're dead. You're all dead. You're all dead. So again, you're dead. You're probably all going to die. You're going to freeze to death. So yeah, enjoy, because this is probably going to be your last festival and you're going to be dead. And again, his wording: Pink Pony help Yaks without Yaks asking. Pink Pony understand Yaks. What? What the freaking heck? Maybe I'm interpreting this the wrong way, and I apologize if I am, but it kind of sounds to me like, again, like some people that I know in real life, and we all do, that have the mentality, I don't ask for help, I expect you to give it to me, without me asking. That's what this sounds like to me. Like those people that they don't feel that they have to ask you for help. That you're such a good-hearted individual, a good sucker, that you will help them even if they don't ask, because it's what you do. They take advantage of you. And that's the image that goes through my mind with this guy. Again, I'm sorry. I do not mean any disrespect. I truly don't. And I understand. I know that some people are going to have a different perspective and a different view on this, and I'm fully open to that. And I would really enjoy if someone could actually shed some new light on it. Pardon me, give a more lighthearted perspective. But again, it's just, maybe it's because I've seen these people before in real life. That's just the idea that it gives me. And again, I'm truly sorry. I do not mean any disrespect to anything or to anyone. I truly don't. I don't want to mean any disrespect. But again, it's just, he didn't learn his lesson. Like, he said, you understand our ways. Basically, you helped us without us asking. Were you expecting it to happen? Did you know from the get-go that she was going to do it anyway? That's a bad idea if it was, because again, you were making other people suffer just because you thought she was going to help you regardless. You didn't know how long it was going to take. You could have froze to death before she actually did anything. And if that wasn't the case, again, you learned Jack. You learned Jack squat. Because, again, you're like, this is our way. You understand that. We will freeze ourselves to death because of pride and honor. Dude. Really? Okay, I know that with some people, pride and honor is a thing. I know that. But again, if you got pride and honor and it's just yourself you're putting in danger, okay, fine, cool, whatever. But if you're putting the lives of other people in danger who clearly want to actually not be put in danger, you're not exactly setting a good example. You're not exactly a good leader. You know that? So, again, that was just my thoughts on that. And Pinkie said that she understood. Okay, I'm glad Pinkie understood it. I'm sorry, I just had the image go through my mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just had that image go through my mind of Pinkie. It would be hilarious if someone did a comic of that. But like Pinkie, you remember before in Too Many Pinkie Pies, whenever Pinkie was able to blow on her hoof and turn it into a hand, it would be hilarious. I just had the image of when after Pinkie's saying, "I do," then she blew on her hand and she made a hand and she gave him the middle finger, and then just walked away. That would have been hilarious. I doubt anyone will make a comic of that, but if you do, if someone does, please link it to me, because I'd like to see it. I really would. Oh, man. But again, that, again, and, okay, yeah, Pinkie does, again, she looks like Dragonborn with the helmet. Like, that does look like the older Nordic Viking helmet, or like the old style, or vintage style, Nordic helmet from Skyrim. Actually, another comical thing will be it would be at that point if Pinkie just went Fusrodad, Sir Prince Rutherford, or Prince Sir Hardy off the mountain. That would have been hilarious as well. But again, like, I don't understand. Like, this guy didn't learn anything. Like, will he ask for help from that point on? Or will Pinkie just continue to help the Yaks, but they're not asking for help? Like, they're just volunteering their free time to help him out without them asking because they expect it? Or does Pinkie understand this time, okay, you know what, he doesn't want help, I'm just going to let him freeze to death. Again, and again, I love that bit with Pinkie at the end because it felt, to me, I know that wasn't the intention, but to me, it was comical, and it felt good, because it felt like she was kind of insulting Prince Rutherford, in a sense. I know, I'm 100% sure that that's not what they intended with that scene, but it's the way I interpreted it, and it made me feel good. It made me feel good. It made me feel real good. But again, story-wise, that's my thoughts on the story. And again, it was interesting for Pinkie to go back there and to be able to see that, and for Pinkie to basically be the goodwill, to be the goodwill friendship ambassador. That was cool. And honestly, I think Pinkie was a good representation of that. I do. I really, honestly do. Because if Applejack had been there, she probably would have bucked Sir Rutherford across the mountaintop. He would have deserved it, but, you know. Pinkie had a nice, calm resolve, and she was able to handle it in a cool, optimistic manner. And I love that about Pinkie. That's one of the reasons why I love her. But she's understanding. She has a good head on her shoulders, and she does have logical thinking. And she tries to make light of the situation and tries to look at it from a very optimistic perspective, whenever anyone else would be looking at it from, you know what, I'm done with this perspective. So yeah, again, Pinkie has a lot of resolve, a lot of determination, a lot of persistence, and I truly admire her for it. And I truly admire that of her character. And again, that's one of the reasons why she's one of my favorite characters too, is because of that optimism and because of that lightheartedness. And yeah, she's always bubbly a lot of the time, but that's her character. But she has shown before to be emotional, obviously, party of one. But again, I really enjoyed how that she handled the situation. She tried to trick them at one point. She really tried to get into it. She was able to get into it. Like, Pinkie's just the kind of person she can pretty much just fit in anywhere. But she's able to understand right from wrong. And she's able to understand whenever something needs to be done. And that's really cool. And I really like that. It shows really good character. And I really enjoyed how that Pinkie tried to help out in the best way that she knew how before finally just deciding, you know what, screw it, I'm going to help out anyway. And in the way that I know how. In the way that I know what's best. And like ultimately saying, Prince Rutherford, you don't know what's best for your people. I do. And so again, I really admire that. And so again, this story was very much relatable. And again, it was a good episode for Pinkie. It was a really good episode. It was cute to be able to see Pinkie be able to try to fit in with this little village. And again, there was a lot of really cute moments with Pinkie. Little callbacks to the past, to season 4, with the cutie map, and whenever Pinkie and was it Applejack or Rainbow Dash? Or was it Twilight? It was Pinkie and someone else. I can't remember who went to Yakistan before. And it was a good callback to that, and it was good to be able to see that. And there was some interesting things in this episode. Again, it was cute. Pinkie sending the constant letters and everything. And again, I love Pinkie's demeanor. How one month she's bubbly and how then she's just like cool and laid back. Again, I love it. And again, Gummy was... and the interactions between Gummy and Pinkie were just adorable in this episode. I really loved it. And again, Gummy, the only time we actually heard his inner monologue was in Slice of Life, and we actually got a good look into his psyche. And I really enjoyed it. But it kind of makes you wonder what goes through his mind now with these different scenes. But again, I love these interactions with Pinkie and Gummy. They were really adorable. And again, there was a lot of cute faces and little moments of Pinkie as well that were really cute. And that moment whenever she first broke that twig and that guy's like, that's a sacred twig or something. My first thought was, dude, why the freak, if it's sacred, why is it on the ground? And then he made that mention about just a joke. And I thought to myself, I couldn't help it, but I thought to myself, yeah, you got someone who's supposed to be representing a goodwill thing. And you trick them into thinking that they just destroyed something sacred of your people. Not exactly the kind of joke I'd go with. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how Fallout started. Yeah, that's totally how Fallout started. Like, you know, like, the different countries just got together and they were making jokes about nukes, and one guy just went press the button, and as a nuke launched, he's like, kidding, boom, and then as he's burning in fire, you see a skeletal face laughing as he's like, it's a joke, JK, LOL, and then whoosh. Yeah, that's totally how Fallout started. That's totally how Fallout started. But again, it was adorable. The interactions of Pinkie and Gummy here were indeed really adorable and cute. And it was interesting to be able to see, again, how Pinkie just fit in and tried everything with everything that the Yaks were doing, and how she just kind of adapted to it. How she quickly adapted to it and tried it out, and she was just totally fine with it. There's also interesting little moments where we see Gummy doing that as well. And then whenever they ended up causing this massive snowfall, and he was trying not to panic, he was like, oh, it's totally cool, you know, this happens all the time. Yep. Totally freezing an entire village is totally normal. And again, then Pinkie realized, oh crap, this guy's too bullheaded and stubborn to accept any sort of assistance. And again, that moment whenever Pinkie, like I said, that moment whenever Pinkie bit into that snow sandwich, more specifically later, whenever she ate the snow cake, and like it freezes, and you see that cold chill just go up her body. Again, oh my gosh, that's one of those moments where you can literally feel it. Because again, I know other people can relate to this. I have sensitive teeth, especially to cold. I like anytime ice cream or anything hits my teeth, oh my gosh, the pain. The excruciating pain. It's, oh my gosh. That's why I can't eat ice cream. I cannot eat ice cream because it absolutely kills my teeth. And so I can totally understand Pinkie here. Like, biting into something cold like that with your teeth, oh, it's pure murder. It's murder on your mouth. It's murder on your head. Talk about brain freeze, man. And so again, yeah, it's one of those things where you can feel it. Like, you just watch and you can feel it, and it just makes you cringe. It's kind of like how some people, it's basically how like some people don't like needles. I'm one of those people. And if you see somebody get stuck with a needle in a movie or a TV show, you cringe, and sometimes you just have to turn your head. You have to look away because you can feel it. Like, you just see it and you feel it. You know that feeling. And it makes you just cringe, and you just tense up. It makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. And so again, I can relate to that. That was one of those cringe-inducing moments, not because it was painfully done, but because it was painful to watch because relatability. And again, I was actually, like, as the scenes progressed to show the Yaks trying to continue their natural traditions in the snow, I was beginning to actually wonder how much of their sanity was leaving them. And again, that little moment whenever Pinkie picks Gummy up and just, like, hugs him, and, like, she's just holding him like you would a cat, like a little kitten or like a puppy. She's just holding him, and his head just hanging over. It was adorable. And then that moment whenever he, like, moves his tongue behind and licks her. Again, it's adorable. Even though Gummy is not, like, we know that he has this, we know he has these inner thoughts. Or at least I accept it as canon. It was interesting that you just wonder what is going through his head. And again, you can tell these little moments right here, like that Gummy loves her. And it's cute. It's so sweet. And I love it. And again, that moment whenever Pinkie started to tell a story, I was kind of surprised that they didn't go with another felt-based thing. Like whenever Pinkie was trying to make friends with Cranky, I was surprised they didn't go with another felt-based thing. But again, I like the animation here, like the sketch drawing, like the kind of like the paper sketch drawings. I like that. And I don't know, but the sand village and one, I don't know why, but it made me think of Aladdin, like Arabian Nights or something. I don't know why, but again, that was really, really well done. And then again, Pinkie tries to coax them into the, and then whenever Prince Rutherford begins to tell that story, and Pinkie begins to question begins to use logic and question. I'm glad she did that. I am so glad that they wrote Pinkie to not accept any of that, and literally analyze it and think, okay, how was this possible? Because again, we've run into those people. Excuse me, sorry. We know we've run into those people before in real life that tells us these stories, and as they're telling them to you, you can listen to them, and like that's how mine works in a That's my mind works in a cartoon way. You can see these potholes in like the road, which is the story that they're telling, and as you're trying to follow that, you're just going all over in these potholes, and you're wondering how much of the story is actually true and how much of it is actually fiction. And so I'm really glad that Pinkie was able to identify that and be like, dude, this sounds like complete bull. And then the guy didn't verify it. Like, he didn't say whether it was true or not. Like, just, this is my story, roll with it. And Pinkie's just like, okay, you know what, sure, whatever. And, again, and then that little skulk that Pinkie did. That little adorable skulk where she takes off. And again, we get to see the balloon again. And, you know, the balloon is iconic because it's what starts the show. It's what starts the show every time. And so the balloon is an icon. And we got to see it once before. We got to see, I believe it was this balloon. No, it wasn't this balloon. I thought I was going to say it was the balloon that Twilight traveled in to get to Ponyville, but it wasn't. It was by carriage. But we did get to see this balloon in Wonderbolt Academy whenever they introduced Lightning Dust. So we did get to see this balloon there. And I'm pretty sure we saw this balloon again in another episode. But it's also interesting to be able to see this balloon again here, and Pinkie's traveling in it. And again, it was kind of funny because whenever it was going back across the screen, I couldn't help but to have like the opening theme song play through my head. And again, Pinkie was totally in character here. Like with the 20 million questions, and she actually went through all 20 million of them. Again, how long is that trip? Like, my gosh, how long? Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to question that. I know somebody could probably do the math on that. I'm just kind of curious. If you tally up Pinkie asking 20 million questions and asking a question every time that she asked a question, which was like, what was it? What, like 2 questions a second? If you tallied that up, how long would it take her? 2 questions a second to get to 20 million. How long would that take? And that would equal the distance that it took to travel. How many hours it would take to travel from Yakistan to Ponyville. Well, yeah, get the game theorists in on this. He could figure it out totally. But again, it was hilarious whenever Pinkie was complaining about the Yaks and how she was just mimicking them and everything. And again, that little head tilt that Twilight did whenever she was like, I love that. I love it. It was subtle, but again, I love how that they did it. It was cute, and it was natural. It was realistic. Like, again, it was so subtle. Like, and there was a lot in that little moment right there. Like, as Twilight tilts her head, you can see this. You can see like her bangs move a little bit, and you can see the her lower eye, or like her lower eyelid, just kind of move up a smidge. And so, yeah, again, it was very subtle. It was tiny detailing, but it was gorgeously done, and it really worked. And again, it was great that every single character here was willing to help and was going to try to help out. And we got to see Pinkie Spy come back, which was really cool. And he gets totally natural. And I just kind of had that image. Yeah, it's a cartoon. You know, we've seen that before. I don't know if it was in Scooby-Doo, but like someone is at a door and they're like, okay, there's got to be a way in. They're trying to find a way in. Somebody just walks over, like just touches the door or pulls it, and it just opens. And they're like, it's open. And then you have somebody else look around or something and be like, be like, well, I opened it. Or like, well, I must have hit the switch or something. Like, we've seen that play out before in cartoons. It was great to be able to actually see that gag here. And then, like I said, we got to see Pinkie Spike come back. And then Pinkie's just like, okay, I don't care if the door's open. I'm going to do it my way. Again, totally Pinkie. I love it. And then it was really cool that they tried to sneak and do all this stuff, try to repair the village, try to help out. And then they try to sneak away. And then Pinkie's just like in a panic, like, oh crap, we're caught. I love that moment right there. And then whenever Pinkie gets her Nordic helmet, and I'm going to call it that. Again, that little moment whenever Fluttershy is just kind of hanging over the side with her, that's adorable. I'm sure that's going to be added on Derpy Brew under Flutterbeatus. And again, Pinkie with the big hat, or big helmet, that's awesome. And then I love that last little scene where Pinkie looks at the audience and says, seriously, this is heavy. Again, fourth wall break. You cannot have Pinkie and not have a fourth wall break. So yeah, again, I really enjoyed that. It was a great finale for that. Like I said, I did really enjoy this episode. Even though I still had some issues with Prince Rutherford. But again, I'm sure you can understand why. But again, I did enjoy this episode. It was interesting to be able to see that dynamic play out. This was a fun episode. And it was also cute. And it was a callback. It was continuity to what happened in the past. And it was great to be able to see that followed up on. And it was also cool, again, the animation, again, little animation details, character movements, faces, things like that. Really adorable. And so again, yeah, this was a fun episode. But again, to everybody at Hasbro DHX, thank you again for doing this episode. Thanks so much for the show. Thanks so much for this incredible show. Thanks so much for all the hard work and effort put into this episode as well. And again, thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I'm curious about what your thoughts are going to be. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thank you guys again for joining me. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.